In Charles Bukowski's poem, Between Races, it tells a story about a young man coming up to Charles Bukowski asking him to interview him because he wants to be a writer, he wants to be a successful journalist, and he's excited by the idea of becoming a successful writer. However, in the story, Bukowski refuses to give the interview, and he says something very interesting about this young man as an aspiring writer. He says, quote, "They were simply not crazy enough in the head to sit down to a typer and let the words bang out. They didn't want to write, they wanted to succeed at writing." I think these are really brilliant lines from Bukowski. It sums up the way a lot of aspiring writers act. You can't write simply to be a success. You have to love the grind. You have to love the brainstorms. You have to love the rewrites, the rough drafts, the scrapping projects all together and starting fresh. I caught some flack on TikTok a while back because I made a video where I commented that if you're asking how to get motivated to write, then you're probably not a writer. If you're a writer, the passion should come pouring out of you. Now, of course, we all experience writer's block or times when we just don't feel creative. But I think what Bukowski is saying in this poem is that true writers enjoy the craft. They put the words down on the paper, they enjoy the process, even if nobody's around to read their work. And at the end of the day, there are a lot of writers who never really experienced a whole lot of success in their life, but left their work behind to be found by new generations and became very popular. People like H.P. Lovecraft, for example. Even Edgar Allan Poe was nowhere near the legend that he is today when he passed away. I think Bukowski is probably the best example of a writer who just did it, no matter life's circumstances. He didn't need a fancy room, he didn't need the perfect situation. He just wrote because he loved it. And in the end, he finally did break through and become a success on his own. But it's not because he just envisioned a life where he was this fancy, successful writer. He just loved to put in the work. But what do you guys think? What do you make of Bukowski's poem and his words in this video? What advice would you give to young, aspiring writers?